It's a balk. It's a balk. Gotta wait for 10.
Recording in progress.
We're waiting for 10 a.m. Good morning and welcome to this week's Weber County Commission meeting. Today is Tuesday, the 8th of October. We have quite a delegation here from our assessor's office. Welcome those who have chosen to be here. We're glad to have you here today. It'll be a wonderful meeting. It takes a good meeting to beat no meeting at all. That means it'll be rather short. Unless, Hannah, you plan on going for quite a while, but okay. Our Pledge of Allegiance this morning will be led by Miss Jessica Clark. The invocation will be given by Mr. Craig Brandt, and our thought of the day will be given by Commissioner Sharon Bullis. We'll go to that point. Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our Father in heaven, we thank thee for this beautiful day. We're grateful for the wonderful fall weather we're having. We're grateful that we are able to gather here in these chambers for this commission meeting today. We ask humbly that thy Spirit will guide us, that will have influence as needed and required for the benefit of the county and those who live within it. We're thankful for this county family and pray for those who are in need, that they will receive that which they stand in need of. Father, we're grateful for the country we live in and for the freedoms we enjoy, and pray a special blessing upon not only our county but our nation that will come to the center on the disagreements we have, that the upcoming election will be safe, and that everyone will be able to have peace with the vote that they cast. We pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Pay attention, because I'm not going to expound on this. I'm actually just going to share a quote from legendary basketball coach John Wooden. He said, "Be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are."
That's very good. I remember
You can
John
expound.
Wooden. Great coach. Great coach. Sure. Okay. Thank you very much. For all of you in the audience and for those of you who are online, we'll now invite you to address the commission on items pertaining to this week's agenda. If there are items on the agenda that you wish to address with us, please come forward, and if we ask that you keep your comments to 3 minutes. Are there any in the audience? Any online? Then we'll move on to item number F on our agenda, which is the consent items, or are the consent items. Item 1 is a request for approval of warrants 103255 through and including 103323 and 486-951 through and including 47071 in the amount of $5,309,547.25. Item 2 is a request for approval of purchase orders in the amount of $111,257.64. And then we'll have item 3, the summary of warrants and purchase orders. For that explanation, we'll go to our great clerk auditor, Mr. Ricky Hatch. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We issued 16 purchase orders this week for $111,000. 28% of that amount, or $31,000, was for the transfer station to perform tree grinding services, pay for solid waste fees, and to purchase diesel fuel. 25%, or $28,000, is for the library to purchase software and to perform building improvements and maintenance, as well as to purchase equipment. 17%, or $19,000, was for our Homeland Security Department to replace a trailer. 15% or $17,000 is for the roads department, and those are to pay for dump truck upfitting costs. 10% and 9% or $10,000 was for dispatch to purchase office equipment. As far as warrants, we issued 190 checks this week for $5.3 million. 1/3 of that amount, or 29% of that amount, or $1.5 million, was transportation tax dollars that paid for 5500 West construction project, 20th Street, and 2550 South. 24%, or $1.3 million, were pass-through grant payments. One was to Weber Housing Authority, and the other to Powder Mountain Water and Sewer. 16%, or $866,000, was for the CJC building construction, as well as some painting at the jail. 12%, or $648,000, was a ramp award to the Roy Recreation Center. And 6%, or $293,000, were escrow releases for Taylor Landing, Aspen Ridge, and Lilac Estates. Our top highest paid vendors in the warrant report this week: Hooper City at $1.3 million, Meadowbrook Apartments at $1.1 million, Wadman Corporation $824,000, Roy City for $648,000, and Ogden City at $221,000.
Great. Commissioners Bolos, Commissioner Frohr, any questions on the explanation or comments that Mr. Hatch has given?
None for me.
None.
And I'll continue on with item number 4. F4 on our agenda is a request for the approval of the minutes for the meeting held on October 1st, 2024. Item 5 is a request for approval of the new business licenses, and item 6 is a request from the Ogden Eccles Conference Center for the approval of to surplus office furniture. Item 7 is a request for approval of the contract by and between Weber County and White Pines Engineering to widen a box culvert for Phase 4 of the 12th Street project. Item 8 is a request for approval of a contract by and between Weber County and Winco Fireworks, Utah LLC, for the Winco Fireworks Blast-Off to be held at the Golden Spike Event Center. Item 9 is a request for approval of the contract by and between Weber County and Eno L. Chavez to hold the October 2024 matched races at the Golden Spike Event Center. Item 10 is a request for approval of a facility rental agreement by and between Weber County and the Utah Department of Natural Resources of Wildlife Resources to hold a regional advisory council meetings in the Weber Center for the 2025 year. Item 11 is a request for approval of a facility agreement by and between Weber County and the Utah Department of Corrections for the Mission of Division meeting to be held in the Weber Center. Item 12, a request for approval of the contract by and between Weber County and Select Health for the 2025 medical insurance. And item 13 is a request for approval of the contract by and between Weber County and IHC Health Services, Inc. for the 2025 Employee Assistance Program. Commissioners, questions or comments?
None.
None for me.
I will just say I had a chance to go to the ribbon cutting out with Roy in the new Roy complex. What a beautiful facility. It really, really was beautiful. And it was 15 times larger when I was a little teeny boy when it first opened up. I couldn't believe the aspect ratio of when I was a older boy versus a younger boy there, but it was still beautiful. They've done a nice job out there. Mayor Bob Dandoy and his team and the council out there, just a great resource for people. Well, with that, Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion for the consent items, or item F.
Move to approve consent items F1 through 13.
We have a motion?
Second.
And a second. I'll place that motion for vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Great. We'll now move to item G on our agenda, which are the action items. The first action item we have now, Ms. Gard, we'll ask you to come forward. It's a request for approval of the final reading of the ordinance of Weber County amending certain fees to the Weber County Sheriff's Office fee schedule. We have the great Hannah Gard with us. Thank you, Hannah, for joining us.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Serves you right.
So we just want to amend our fee schedule as it pertains to grandma requests. With the influx of grandma requests that our office gets, we wanted to kind of clean up. We had a very broad fee schedule previously. Our thought was to clean this up and make it a little bit more clean to assist citizens with getting their records, but also assist our staff with recouping those costs and making some of that money that requires, especially with a lot of the body cam that we get requested for now, we have to do a lot of redactions, and that can take a lot of time and staff time for us to make those redactions and get them ready for release. So it's just to clean up the fee schedule as it pertains to grandma.
Thank you. Commissioner Bolos, the Sheriff's Office being in your portfolio, do you have any comments or questions?
I do. Thanks, Hannah, for your work on this. I think it's really important, especially with the increased number of requests and the increased time that it takes to fill those requests. It's really a fee schedule that brings fairness to the taxpayer, because the burden of the cost goes to those who are requesting those and not paid by the public in general. So I think that's really important.
Well said. Commissioner Frohr, comments or questions?
No questions.
Then I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve ordinance 2024-19.
Second.
That's a second. Mr. Brand, I'm going to go to you for a roll call vote for this ordinance, and if you'll give us the number, please.
Roll call vote for ordinance 2024-19. Commissioner Ford?
Aye.
Commissioner Bolos?
Aye.
Chair Harvey?
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Ms. Russell, item number 2 is a request for approval of a contract by and between Weber County and Q-Energy for the methane mitigation project on the C&D landfill way out there on 12th Street. Stephanie Russell, our Economic Development Director. Go ahead, ma'am.
Thank you, Commissioners. This is exactly what it sounds like, looking at going into another agreement with Q-Energy to harvest methane out of our landfills. We had such incredible success out of our closed landfill over by our archery center. We're partnering with them again out in our West Weber corridor. This particular landfill is actually located in our inland port as well. So this contributes to our vision of creating a renewable energy hub in the county out in the West Weber corridor. We're really excited that they were able to be able to detect enough methane out of a C&D landfill that they're able to harvest. And this is just another great opportunity to partner with an incredible company in our county to assist with mitigating methane out of the environment and producing carbon credits for the county.
Very good. Questions? Commissioner Commissioner Frohr, this being in your portfolio, comments?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Stephanie for the hard work. This is just another example of what we did with the closed landfill in mitigating the methane, ability to eventually convert that to energy that we can use without going on the grid, and just a continuation of that with our community partner that we're very lucky to have right here in Weber County. I mean, and we've actually received state and some national attention on this, and Stephanie's doing a great job of taking this and expanding it even farther into the future, so I'm excited about what takes place.
Comments or questions, Commissioner?
Yeah,
Wallace?
just a comment. I really am glad that you pointed out that this is in the inland port area, and I think that's important. We've received a lot of concerns from residents about that area and mitigating, methane
air quality.
The air quality is of most importance to people, and so that's really important that this is part of that.
And thank you for bringing that up. The West Weber corridor, Weber County in general, but particularly West Weber corridor, is a non-attainment area, so it makes it really difficult for us to recruit certain types of businesses because they would be required to put in extensive. The last one we looked at was about a $100 million filtration system required by federal and state regulations out there. This is our part of what we're trying to do with our wetlands policy mitigation with the inland port, as well as methane harvesting, is to really create a better environment than what we adopted.
It's great. I think it's great.
Great. And just a little overview, especially for those of you who have joined us today. This machine, it's about the size of about 3 or 4 garbage cans. Yeah. And what it does is it uses that methane gas, and it uses that gas to fire the machine, and then that machine produces energy, which can be then stored. So we take that natural methane, and then it creates electricity that can be stored or sold off. So it's actually it's a super cool thing. For those who are concerned about carbon credits, because it helps eliminate or reduce carbon credits, this is a powerful step forward for us. Now, we've had proven examples of this right here on the old cap, the landfill cap that's just across the viaduct on 24th Street. But because of the successful history, there are others here, now in Weber County and across the state that are using this Weber County company to help with that. So,
Absolutely.
good job.
And just as a kind of aside, Commissioner Farrar, I had the opportunity to meet with the City of Huntsville last week. They're looking at augmenting their revenue stream and dealing with some of the challenges they have economically. And this is a possible opportunity for them to participate in this harvesting program with Q-Energy as well. And we've got support from the state as it relates to this project. So this is the wave of the future, and it has nothing but positive results.
One last comment, thank you. Cost the county nothing. In fact,
No,
we get
not
a
all.
revenue back
We do.
because of the share of the electricity generated. We get some of that money back, so it's great. I'll look for a motion for approval.
Mr. Chair, I'm happy to move to approve the contract by and between Weber County and Q-Energy for the methane mitigation project on the C&D landfill. And let me just make one comment. So we'll actually be meeting with some state legislators here over the next couple of weeks to talk about this program, along with some others that we are hopeful will not only receive some state attention, but possibly some state funding. So that's where we're headed.
Wonderful. Have a motion?
Second.
I'll place that motion for vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Great, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Item number 3 is a request for approval of an interlocal agreement for the administrative services by and between Weber County and the Weber Housing Authority. While we have its director, Andy Beatles, here, I'm going to go to Chris Crockett for that.
I'll go through the boring stuff, and then Andy can come talk about the amazing things the Housing Authority is doing. Thank you, Commissioners. A long time ago, the Weber Housing Authority was created, and in doing so, it needed some help to become the great organization it is today. And the Interlocal Agreement Act allows governments to cooperate with each other and to help each other out. And for a number of years, Weber County has helped the Weber Housing Authority grow. But through amazing management, a very active board, the Housing Authority has become self-sustaining. And so the time has come to break up or to let it go and continue to do amazing things. And so the county, over a number of years, has provided benefit administration, through HR services, legal services, access to our audit services, financial services, computers, fleet, telephone. This agreement will terminate the relationship. I mean, we'll continue having a great relationship, but as far as the things I just listed, on December 31st, 2024. The only two things that will continue until June 30th of 2025 is legal services and then some assistance through the audit season. So it's a great day. Housing Authority is an amazing organization, and it's really neat to see what they have done over the years and how they have progressed and worked hard to become self-sustaining. So that's my presentation. If you have any questions for Andy Beatles, she's here. She's happy to help.
Ms. Beatles, would you like to come to the mic and offer any comment or a test?
A test. I don't know if I have a test, but no, Chris is right. Like I have an amazing board that has got us to this point, but we wouldn't be here without the support of Weber County, which has been instrumental in getting us to this self-sufficient state where we can separate from the county and be our own entity, which is really exciting. It is. It's an exciting day. So I will just say thank you so much to Weber County, especially legal, and Scott Park has been just phenomenal. Everybody at the county. I can't list everybody, but just thank you for all of the administrative support that you've provided. We couldn't have done it without you.
Great. Thank you very much. Commissioner Farrar, I know you've had a lot of involvement in this, as was Commissioner Bolos. Any comments or questions?
Yeah, I would. So, Andy, stay there.
Okay.
You're not done yet. So, it's a tough day when you see your kids leave the house. And it's also a happy day. So, it's what I call bittersweet. So, and I know I've been involved with the Housing Authority for a number of years. My wife has been there since day one.
Yep, since
taken a very
2008.
active participation. It's a
Yeah.
great board that Andy's able to direct, and with Robert Bischoff and Bob Hunter and those people, I know that they're headed the right direction. But it was time to let them go out and fly on their own. With Andy's direction, I have no doubt it'll be successful. The amount of good projects she brings to Weber County and in particular Ogden City, we've just seen those the last couple of years. We continue to see that with the help of those people that have the need for just a little, I'm going to say hand up, not hand out, to get into housing.
Yeah.
And Andy makes sure that happens. A lot of regulations that a lot of people don't understand that come down through HUD, that if you don't play by their rules, then we can get stung by that. So part of it's just working with the feds, obviously the locals, and I'm just excited to see Andy be able to take this on. I've got full faith and confidence that this will be very successful for the future. And won't be the last time we see Andy,
Sure.
I'm hoping. So.
No, for sure. And we plan to continue to have a very strong relationship with Weber County. But thank you, Commissioner. That's so kind of you.
Great, thank you. Commissioner Bolos?
I was thinking exactly what Commissioner Farrar was. All grown up and ready to be on their own. Congratulations. That's a long time coming, so
Thank
appreciate your work, Andy.
Yeah, thank you.
This is great. Good for you. Well, with that, Commissioners, let's finish the business at hand. I'll look for an approval of that interlocal agreement.
Mr. Chair, I would be proud to approve the interlocal agreement, move to approve the interlocal agreement for administrative services by and between Weber County and Weber Housing Authority as presented by Mr. Chris Crockett and also by Miss Andy Beatles.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I'll place that motion for vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you. All right, item number H are commissioner comments. Commissioners Bolos or Farrar, any comments you'd like to make?
Looking forward to your comments.
I want to see what you have to say first.
Well, I'm going to ask my friend, the GQ extraordinaire, John Ulibarri, to come forward. Sometime this year would be helpful. I'll say,
Okay, you ready? All right, thank you, Commissioners. When Shelley asked who we wanted for our Stall of Fame recipient, the choice of Angela Hill was easy. I asked Shelley how much time we had because listing all the good things about Ange would take about an hour. Shelley said we had 3 minutes, so here we go. Professionally, Angela shows a high degree of expertise and competency. Most importantly, she shows good judgment. Angela understands the purpose of the Greenbelt laws and does her best to assist those who need help complying before imposing a rollback tax. She walks those who ask through the requirements and what they need to do to stay in the program. If she's out of the office and someone needs help, you can call Angela at home. She'll help you with that customer. Well, Ange can also provide the customer's details on what needs to be done from memory. Personally, Ange radiates kindness everywhere she goes. She treats everyone with respect and is just plain nice. People gravitate to Angela because of how pleasant she is. Here are a couple comments from her teammates. Her extensive knowledge spans all areas of the assessor's office and the various activities within the county. Angela's positive attitude, caring nature, and unwavering loyalty make her a standout team member. She excels in customer service, particularly as our Greenbelt specialist, and is always ready to assist in any capacity. Another says, Ange is always happy to help with any questions one might have. She also shares with her personal life, which lets us see her personality and get to know her better. She always has a smile on her face and is fun to be around. There's so many good things to say about Angela, but I think this best sums it up. A day without Angela is like a day without sunshine. You can survive, but are a little poorer for it. In closing, Angela Hill is a fantastic representative of the Assessor's Office and Weber County. Receiving the Stall of Fame Award is long overdue.
Wow. Let's give Ange a round of applause. Ms. Hill would enjoy any comments or thank? Anything you'd like?
Thank you so much.
That's it?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. Would like to come get a picture with you, is that okay? She also gets the coveted Stall of Fame keychain. You can do better than that, it's a big, oh. That was much better.
Hey, Commissioners, do you want to get with John WEBER as well?
Oh, yeah, where is he? I didn't, John? John.
Good job.
Thank you, Shelley. Yeah.
One, two, three.
One more round of applause for him. Commissioners, with no other comments, I'll entertain a motion for item I, India.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.